Let's talk about it. So, if you find yourself shooting in a studio situation with an artist and you're in a booth, I have two Q-tips for the week that's going to set you up for success. So, check it out. So, I'm at Digital Wave Recording Studio, downtown Fayetteville, North Carolina, with hip hop artist Zachary Zork. I'm running a rather simple setup, simple lighting setup. I'm using a Nikon D700 accompanied with 50 millimeter 1.8 and a Nikon SB700. And as far as diffusion, I'm using a Magmod mag sphere on top. So let's talk flash awareness. Flash awareness, right? And what that means to me, especially in this scene here, or in this situation rather, is I want to make sure that my subject is as comfortable as possible. And the way I can do that, or I can achieve that, and the way a lot of people should achieve that in a similar situation like this, is make sure that you're not pointing that flash directly in this person's face. So that's exactly why I went with the mag sphere as my diffuser on this, because it's an omnidirectional diffuser, and it evenly distributes that light, right? So that way it's not so harsh in the face. The last thing I want to do is have a direct flash source beaming straight in my subject's eyes. So notice I'm raising the flash right over my subject's head. It definitely helps to have off-camera flash in a situation like this. Just remember that your subject in this situation is in his or her zone. So you want them to be as comfortable as possible, right? You don't need any other distractions. It's already kind of distracting with you being physically in there. And really, you're even lucky if you're able to get that close. Luckily, I'm pretty cool with Zach, so he let me in the booth, and a lot of times the engineer won't even do that. So just be aware of that. You also definitely don't want to overwhelm your subject in this situation, right? So notice I'm just kind of chilling, letting him do his thing. I'm not necessarily firing away because that is very distracting. So my next tip is a very important tip in my opinion for this situation, and that's shutter awareness. Noticing I'm just kind of like letting him do his thing, giving it time to breathe, and I'm only choosing to fire when the record button is not on. I'm not firing, as he's rapping. I'm not firing as he's doing his thing and as the engineer has that button, that record button on. The reason for that is because you don't want your shutter to bleed through that mic. Those condenser mics can pick up footsteps, so you want to be very careful with that. If you do, however, want to photograph them while they are rapping or doing their thing, just create some space. Notice I'm standing behind that wall, and that creates that sound space that's needed in order for the shutter not to bleed. That concludes my two Q-tips for the week. If you like what you were watching and you took away from it, that's awesome. If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe, comment, and like if you feel so inclined. If you're watching this from Facebook, you can follow my Instagram at visionwinny. And if you're on Instagram watching this, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you can like my Facebook page, facebook.com/visionwinny.